A mainstay whisper in the wings, and offstage, an everyday phrase of encouragement. Break a leg is a metaphor. It's become an idiom in and of itself, divorced of its original allusion, and hopefully any literal hope of a broken leg. This makes the saying a dead metaphor, deader than Caesar. Tracing the saying's origins reveals proposed roots for this Edward Scissorhands of well wishes, two of which share majority acceptance. Most prominently, the greeting might have been taken and transformed through the ironic German Hals- und Beinbruch, itself a pun of the Yiddish Hasloch und Bruch greeting. On the other hand, it could also harken back to alleged horse racing superstition, where it was terrible form to wish someone good luck on an upcoming race, and so you'd wish them something awful instead, like break a leg, pulling a sneaky on the fates and a funny on the rest of us for all time, who'll keep appropriating it as a cheer of hope for a coming performance. Few English words better describe the Maori haka than vigor. Erroneously described as just war chants and dances, the Maori hold that the haka is a performance of life itself, from diplomatic greetings to festivals to funerals and, most familiarly for the rest of us, sporting events. The type of haka performed by New Zealand teams, characterized by spirited stomping, slapping, dancing, and emoting, can be called a war haka, which is intended to allow the performing athletes to best express the spirit and resolve they are bringing to the coming game. Athletes of opposing teams may respond as they wish, with cheers, applause, and general acceptance being met with the same competitive fervor as turning away from the performance or counter attempts at intimidation. The haka, performed by a group who together most ardently believe in their purpose, is a celebration, a rallying cry, and a spectacle bursting with life and energy. A slap shot, a buzzer, then the crowd goes silent, sailing through the air. And onto the rink, a plastic rat bounces harmlessly onto the ice. 3 follow, then 20, then 100 and easily 100 more plastic rats blanket the play area, squeaking in thuds as the Florida Panthers reposition after another made goal. The rat trick lives on. In the 1996 NHL season, Florida Panthers winger Scott Mellanby killed a rat with his hockey stick, while the team prepared for an opening game. In the match that followed, Mellanby would score 2 goals in a victory eked out by the same hockey stick, the same player, and a new tradition that would cause the league to rule that referees may punish home teams should their fans delay the match by throwing objects onto the rink. These days, though Panther fans do continue to uphold tradition and celebrate their team's goals with rubbery rodent ordnance, signs are posted around to remind fans to hold on to their rats until the conclusion of the game. 37 years, over 5,000 professional games, and 11 herbs and spices later, the ghost of Colonel Sanders continues to haunt the Hanshin Tigers like the smell of a 6-piece bucket on your breath after you promised to eat just 1 drumstick for dinner. In 1985, the year of the Tigers' only Japan Series championship to date, fans of the team yoinked and yodered a nearby KFC's life-size Sanders statue into the river. Allegedly, Sanders himself cursed the franchise to never again see success unless his likeness were recovered and restored. Though the statue was eventually dredged up in 2009, the Hanshin Tigers have indeed never won another pennant and continue to suffer heartbreaking season after heartbreaking season. Tigers fans remain some of the most fervent Japanese baseball fans, making grand showings of support and passion every year in the hopes that eventually the Colonel will return to chicken and stop cooking their goose. The theater's exit doors clasp shut. Nothing remains but the lonely murmur of shadow and leather. The silence frays center stage. The yelp of a crackle followed by a glimmer, and a light blossoms forth and hangs in the air. Darkness nips at its edges as it burns unfazed. This is the ghost light, both a practical beam of purpose and the tiny spectacle itself. The ghost light is universal, referring to any source of light left on overnight, bright enough to illuminate the center stage of a theater. Productions typically want the morning crew to be able to find the room's power box and prevent blind mice from stumbling into props, hazards, and the sheer drop from stage to orchestra pit, lest they find themselves dealing with a new theater ghost. Macabre imagery aside, herein lies its dramatic second purpose. The tradition of the ghost light is maintained themed to appropriately illuminate the performances of beloved theater ghosts. Every hall of performance has them, and these specters are believed to hold their own shows, have their own favorite seats, and need as much light as ghosts would like to do as all creatures of theater do.